Men scary, men do bad things, but let's be so fucking for real right now. There's no way y'all would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear over a man. If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear, cause that bitch gonna need it.
And that your friend? And that your friend? And that your friend?
The bear or man in the woods thing was never actually a would you rather question. I know because I'm the one who started it, and I figured I'd use this tag to clarify some things. On March 12th, I ended a video by saying, if you're alone in the woods, seeing a man is 10 times scarier than seeing a bear. Someone commented on that video saying, no, seeing a bear is so much scarier than seeing a man, bro. I responded to that comment laying out why women are more scared of men than the bear, and that response went viral on the 19th. This topic started trending and growing for a few weeks, and then it really blew up with the street interviews. I never presented it as a would you rather question because I already knew that women were picking the bear and men were picking the man. My whole page is trying to get people who look like me to empathize with and understand the life experiences of people who don't look like us. So my intention here was to get men to think about why the world looks so different for women that they would actually choose the bear. And my challenge to any man watching who picks the man in this scenario is, can you get yourself to a place where you would rather pick the bear? Can you get to that level of understanding? Because if you can bring yourself to understand why they choose the bear, congratulations, you've experienced 1% of 1% of 1% of what they experience every day of their lives, and you experienced it for 2.5 minutes.
Dance with daughters. Would you rather have your daughter be in the woods, like little daughter in the woods with a bear, or a man? Maybe asking it this way will allow men some extra perspective of what women are saying.
Let's just stop acting stupid, okay? Let's just all collectively as the internet decide to stop acting stupid. Ladies, I get it. I get your point. Men scary, men do bad things, but let's be so fucking for real right now. There's no way y'all would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear over a man. Y'all be meeting random ass dudes at the club and then going home with them that night. Y'all will talk to strangers on a dating app for 2 days and then invite them over to your house. I don't see y'all taking trips out into the woods where the bears are at, yet y'all choose to be alone with random strange men every other night. I don't even know why I'm making this video, because the women that are committed to this goofy idea will be committed no matter what. But let's play a quick game to see just how stubborn and dishonest some of y'all really are. Let's make this all the way specific so y'all can't hide behind these abstract arguments. Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? Would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? And last but not least, would you rather be alone in the woods with this bear or this man? We all know what this man has done in his past. That still shouldn't affect your answer. If y'all didn't choose the man over the bear 4 out of 4 times, you're either delusional or you just flat out lying.
Y'all doing too much. This hypothetical question about this bear versus man in the forest is about to get a lot of y'all feelings hurt. Some of y'all women, you doing too much. You are the bear in the forest. You need to be scared of yourself. At the end of the day, a lot of y'all are running around acting like you so scared of men, acting as if you fear for your life on a day-to-day basis. Girl, men don't even pay you no mind on a day-to-day basis. You go to the mall, they ignore you. You go to the store, they ignore you. You go to the club and the lounges with your homegirls and they talk to everybody but you. Men ain't worried about you. You could be in the forest with a bear and a man and you got a better chance of the bear wanting to smash. It's almost comical listening to a group of women who invite strangers from dating apps to their house to smash on the first day are scared of men. I can't tell. I can't tell the way y'all be getting pregnant by strangers. Men who last names you don't even know. Men who mama you don't meet until the baby shower. I can't tell you scared of these men. Not the way you be out here giving out your address so freely and letting them come over there and Netflix and chill. The way you be going over their house when you don't even know them. Jeffrey Dahmer would have a field day with this generation, and somehow y'all scared of men. You scared to be in a forest with a man? Be for real. Y'all are comical. Nobody even takes you serious at this point because you're a joke. Every time you get on this internet and open up your mouth, it's a contradiction and you're a joke.
And somehow you are not the comical one. You're not the joke. And you believe that you said something so fire, on point. It's a hypothetical question, guys. It's a hypothetical question. Obviously, women won't go and live with a bear in the forest, obviously. But given the instances, what would you do is a hypothetical question. What would you do? And I would choose the bear because I would not trust a man. Being alone with a man in any forest. Because already it seems like his mind goes dark. So I would not trust myself with any man. Listen, in the forest, I would not trust any man. So it has nothing to do with that, what other women do in general. Because let's be honest, no? Men would have a pillow if we could. It doesn't matter how you look. And that's the thing men don't get. Women do not get. Women like that do not get. Men like that do not get. Men know this, that they would go for women and children, a baby, an infant that just been born, a hole full of bees, a corpse, not cop, but a corpse. They will go into anything that has a hole in it. They've aligned themselves with animals, and when we refer and treat them like animals, they get their feelings hurt somehow. But let me add on to this.
Y'all acting like men are scarier than bears? You ain't watched enough nature documentaries.
Junko rejected a guy in high school and he couldn't accept the fact that she said no to him. So him and his friends decided to kidnap her and torture her. So when they brought her back to the place, they hung her from the ceiling, beat her with golf clubs and bats and other objects. They also lit her on fire and used her as a punching bag. They also would rape her and bring other men to do the same to her as well as beat her. They also made her eat live cockroaches as well as drink her own bodily fluids. They also did disgusting things such as putting objects on fire inside of her. They lit fireworks inside of her, and all of this damage internally destroyed her body. This is one of all the things that they did to her. I'm not even going to name all of it. And so because she went through all this torture, she was no longer attractive to them. So they beat her even more, and they also went to go look for another woman where they assaulted and raped, all because she was no longer attracted to them. By the way, only one of them got charged. The other ones are still roaming free to this day. So I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of comments that are going to say, oh, not all men do this. I'm not saying all men, but not all bears either. Also would rape her and bring other men to do the same to her as well as beat her.
Bring in other men. That's what I want us to focus on right now. They would bring in other men. So if you go back and watch the rest of that video, you know that what happened to Junko is horrific, and that creator doesn't even get into all the graphic, gory details. But what I want us to focus on is that these guys would bring in other men. Meaning that because one guy was rejected, he convinced his group of friends to kidnap and torture this girl, and that group of friends would bring in other, essentially random men to come in and do violence against her. And that's why the not all men argument is such a stupid one, because let's just say that not every man who they drug in from the streets to do this to her actually participated. Who saved her? Her torture went on for over 40 days. If not every guy who walked in there did something to her, okay, but did they tell? Did they get help? Did they rescue her? No. Her suffering ended after 40 days when they just lit her on fire because she wasn't attractive anymore. And this isn't even an isolated incident. I listen to a true crime podcast, shout out to Morbid, and periodically they will go, how did these people get so many other people in on this? And that is the question. That is the problem. It's not just one evil guy going around doing this violence endlessly. It's not even him and his small group of other impressionable, awful friends. It's that you can go outside and you've got a chance of finding anyone who will do this. And if you don't find anyone who will also participate, you will find a ton of people, other men, who will say nothing and let the violence continue.
And that's why no one cares that it's not all men. That's why so many women would rather be stuck in the woods with a bear than a man, or why we're so weird on first dates and we all carry pepper spray and we travel in clusters at night. Because y'all are wild and we don't know what we're going to get or how bad the violence is going to be, because that's an extreme scenario. But small scale violence against women takes place every single day and y'all say nothing. Nothing. So yeah, I'd rather take my chances with the bear.
Y'all, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. For one, imagine taking something that you acknowledge is hypothetical and using it as a means to insult and attack women for being fearful of men because experiences they've had. Imagine being dumb enough to believe that the only way a man would even attack you is if he's somewhat attracted to you. I mean, because clearly there's no such thing as hate crimes, people attacking you because of your religious beliefs, people attacking you because of your sexuality, people attacking you because of your race, your background. No, it only happens if they're somewhat attracted to you and willing to look your way. Women like her protect predators in our community. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but it was hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Are you okay? Have you yourself ever experienced a domestic dispute with a man or been assaulted by the hands of a man? Please share your story. If you haven't, shut the fuck up.
Her. Some of y'all women, you're doing too much. You are the bear in the forest.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna pick you either. We're not about to act like men don't stick their thing in anything that move. We not about to act like that. Come on now. Come on now. If it got what they want in the middle, they gonna try to play with it like a fiddle. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I personally would choose a bear too. I would choose wildlife over my counterpart. I definitely would. If I stood strong and stood up real big and say, hey, motherfucking bear, I'm bigger than you, to wildlife, right? There's a good chance that wildlife would be like, okay, wait, hold on. That motherfucker is a little big. Let me go ahead and turn around and skedaddle. But if I do that to my counterpart is going to try to show me that they are way bigger than what I just presented myself, right? For bears, I just got to make big ass sounds that they do not like, right? And then I've learned from that man that be like, the more you know. A bear, they don't see humans as food. So if a bear is trying to attack you, there's one or two things. Either it's a woman bear, a female bear, and she's protecting her babies because you didn't came too close. Only thing you got to do is walk away. If it's a male bear, it's because that motherfucker is hungry. Hell, throw his ass a sandwich. I mean, I just don't know. We see every day how men are. You say no to a man, it's over with. It's over with for you. You scream and say no to a bear, they might hear that little screech in a woman's voice and be like, ugh, you know what? Let me not try to go over there to that. I don't know. But to think that somebody can't be harassed because they're not attractive, that's a stretch. Like, I know your arms hurt, girl. There's no way y'all would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear over a man.
All right, let's break this down so everybody understands why you should choose a bear over a man. Not even just women, honestly, everybody should pick the bear. Reason number one, a bear is not gonna act any differently when it realizes there aren't any witnesses. The bear is gonna act like a bear. However, there are quite a few men who will act very differently upon the realization that nobody else is watching. Reason number two, bears do not wanna talk to you. If a bear knows you are in the woods, it will literally leave you alone. You will never see it. This is why the biggest safety advice to anybody who's camping in bear country is just to make noise. If you're with a group of people, have conversations. If you're by yourself, periodically just shout bear. They also sell bells that you can hang on yourself if you're a solo hiker that will continually make noise to let grizzlies and black bears know that you're in the area. So long as you do not surprise them, it is very unlikely that you will encounter a bear. Millions of people camp every single year all across bear country, and very few of them have any direct bear encounters at all, and very few of those bear encounters are ever even lethal. Whereas if a man is alone in the woods with a woman and they hear a noise, they will likely do the exact opposite, can go towards that source where they know there is another person. Especially if this is a nefarious man who knows that the other person in the woods is smaller and weaker than them. Reason number 3, bears do not want to attack people. If you get attacked by a bear, it is almost certainly just due to one of 2 reasons. Either 1, you startled it, or 2, you ran across a mama bear with her cubs. And since you're alone with this bear, I think we can assume that this is not a mama bear with her cubs. However, there are men that do enjoy hurting and taking advantage of others, and will rush to the opportunity to do that once given the chance. Reason number 4, bears are very predictable. If you've ever gone camping before, you've likely been taught how to scare off a bear. You make yourself really big and make a lot of noise, and most of the time they just run off. Now tell me, if you were a woman alone in the woods, how would you scare off a man? There is not a fucking answer to that question. Remember, the question is not, would you rather get into a fist fight with a man or a grizzly bear? The question is, would you rather be stuck in the woods with either a man or a bear? And considering the bear almost certainly wants nothing to do with you and therefore will not pay you any attention, you should choose the bear.
Men started the whole would you rather be in the forest with a man or a bear conversation as a way to fish for compliments. And they didn't get them, and now they are heated. And the question was never asked from a genuine place, because duh, but it really highlights the fact that we will never stop having these conversations because they don't want the answer. They just want affirmation that they're not that bad. And because that's all they seek, they're never going to get it. I mean, they don't even consider other perspectives enough to understand they asked the wrong question. They're asking from the standpoint of survivability. In their heads, because every bear attacks on sight, of course you would pick a man because you're more likely to survive. And that's all they have to hang their hat on. They can't guarantee that they're less violent because they're not, or that the torture, pain, and suffering would end sooner because it won't. I mean, they have nothing else but to say, you're more likely to survive. And women are like, hey, yo, I don't wanna. Because men cannot fathom a fate worse than death. Because they cannot wrap their brains around the brutality that happens at the hands of men. Because they cannot fathom the idea that women are like, I would rather lose my life to someone who is logically going to take it, like a bear who's just trying to survive, as opposed to a man who just wanted to on a random Tuesday. They are flabbergasted and upset by the answers to this question because they cannot see an alternative perspective. And so while they're arguing for their lives over this silly hypothetical so that maybe they can get some affirmation that men are just not that bad, the harm and violence is continuing. Instead of holding men accountable and working to dismantle the patriarchy so that women can feel safer in the woods with a strange man than with a bear, they're just upset that we don't because they cannot fathom another perspective. And not only is it just frustrating as a woman to hear, because deep down, you know that they know that this is the reality. It's why they treat their daughters that way. But it's also just kind of sad to see on their behalf. Because I don't want men to feel bad about themselves. I don't want them to feel like every single woman is terrified of them and sees them in this dark light. I can imagine how upsetting that might feel. But until they consider how upsetting it is to live in a reality where a bear makes you feel safer than a man, it just ain't that deep. It's just not. They're just fishing for compliments.
Oh, I know we've all seen the video. There's a guy walking around asking women, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? Most of the women said a bear. I just want y'all, just hear me out. I just want y'all to slow it down and realize that social media isn't real life. You pull up all you fucking stats. 1 in 6 women will be attacked by a man in her lifetime. Only 1 in 1 million people have a chance to be attacked by a bear. Let's think about this. You live with and walk past in your life probably hundreds of thousands of men. You will probably never fucking just walk past a bear, all right? So no shit, okay? I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. The chance that I'm gonna walk up on a Kodiak bear, what the fuck? Slim to none ever in life, never. I ain't go to the zoo. Fuck is you talking about? That's one. That's proximity. The way y'all be bringing this shit up is ridiculous. The way that should have been. The way that question should have been asked, would you rather be lost in the woods with a bear that wants to kill you or a man that wants to kill you? With a bear that wants to harm you or a man that wants to harm you? So that you could get the real fucking answers. I ain't never hit a woman violently. I ain't never put a violent hand on a woman. I ain't never sexually assaulted a woman. No, none of that. Ever. Now, I ain't never even called a woman out of her fucking name. Not to her face. I think all that is terrible and wrong. But y'all acting like men are scarier than bears? You ain't watched enough nature documentaries, baby. Go watch the one where they trying to get the pictures of that big ass bear and the light from the flash scares him and a startled bear. I swear to fucking God, the earth moved when he got startled. Just go watch a few fucking videos. The way y'all, boy, you dumb as hell.
You said we must go and watch nature documentaries, right? As a woman whose mother likes watching natural documentaries, I mean, my mom loves it a lot. So sometimes I have no choice but to sit and watch with her. You can't imagine the things I've seen from animals and the things they do, especially the female ones. The female ones naturally protect their cubs. They would be with them until they're fully grown. I had to watch one time a springbok sacrifice herself so that the child can live. You know, in the lions, it's the female that hunt. The men does the male one does nothing and lays around most of the time. So the woman does most of the labor. Even the birds at time would do the same thing. The female ones will reach out to get the food and bring to feed the kids. So the bear female as well, she would raise her kids until they're grown up. Go rewatch them again. Please just go and watch them again. That's the best thing that you could do for yourself. That's something that you don't even do. Stick around for your cubs until they grow up. They have to be nurtured by the female. And this is why, again, I do not want to procreate with men. Because why? Because even your homie knows somebody that's doing something to some women, but would you say something? I've had even men tell me to their face that if they had an argument, they saw a male and a female arguing, he won't get involved. Why? Why won't he get involved? Because he doesn't want to get involved in two people's conversation, two people's conversation. At the end, she might choose him back and say that I'm causing problems. So let's move on to the next one.
Would you rather be left in the woods with a bear or a man? That is what girls are being asked. Now, this is going to be controversial. I get it, but I don't care. Basically, the question is suggesting that the bear is coming to kill you and the man is coming to kill you. But women are choosing the bear. Now, some of them are saying stuff like, the bear might not kill me. I can avoid the bear killing me. I might be able to reason with the bear and I won't reason with them. Does that make sense? Can you talk to the bear?
No one said that.
Can you talk to the bear? I am convinced that people don't know what bears are. Or they're thinking of their teddy bears. You know, the ones on their beds? A female bear can weigh up to 350 pounds. And that's just a female. We didn't specify what gender the bear was. If the bear's a male, well, they can weigh up to 600 pounds, you twat. So why would you want to be in the woods with a bear? Does that make sense? I get it. The whole narrative of men are evil. I get it. I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears, but I'm scared of men. That's what you lot think. That's how you lot are thinking. But I guarantee you, if the situation actually arises, you would choose the man. This is the reason why. Because first of all, whilst I understand what girls are trying to say, the man can do another thing, which I'm not going to dignify by saying here today, as well as the murder. I get it, but I don't think he will do as much damage to you as the bear will. Physically. I'm talking physically. Bears don't just kill you. They don't just swipe at you and you're dead. They eat you whilst you're alive. You're basically going to be tortured by a 600-pound bear. That's the worst case scenario for the bear. The thing is with the man, whilst I understand what you're saying, would you not rather put yourself in a situation that may be worse for you mentally, but have a chance of surviving?
Surviving what?
Rather than put yourself in a position where you definitely won't survive just to avoid a worse fate. That doesn't make sense to me. Because at least with the man, you have a chance to fight him off. You could break his leg. You can't break a bear's leg. And if you do, you need a weapon, and there's no weapons in the woods except rocks and sticks. Now, you could whack a man over the head with a rock, and he'd fall. You could kick a man in the nuts, and he'd fall. You stand a better chance with the man at survival. That's my point. You stand zero chance. Now, you lot saying that you can avoid the bear killing you doesn't make sense. If the bear is hungry and he wants to kill you, that's the question, basically. You're dead. There's no survival.
It doesn't make sense regardless if you look at it. Because regardless of what I choose, I know that I'm just going to die. The bear won't assault me. The bear won't decide to take my body. The bear is just going to take my life. You are going to do mean things to me and charm me into pieces. You're going to literally have the freedom to own my body because it's just me and you. So why would I choose you? What they've done to black women and continue to do to black women in Africa so that they can justify the sick thoughts in their minds? And you think I'll be safe with a man? F you. The fact is you guys would go above and beyond to prove the exact same point because you like ownership so much. You're not trying, the bear's not gonna get me to do anything because the bear doesn't want anything from me. The lion just wants me to die and they see me as a threat. That's it. They're not gonna take my body. Okay? Then the lion is not gonna take my flipping body. The elephant is not gonna take and own my body. The crocodile is not gonna come and take and own my body and try to shape my mind to think differently. Never. It's you that will do that.
Have you guys seen that dude who's just embarrassing the shit out of himself right now? Talking about how he doesn't believe that women would rather run into a bear in the woods than a man? Like, on the most basic fucking level, if I see a bear in the woods, I know why that bear is there. That's its house. It lives there. I don't know why a man is in the woods. And then he said that the real question should be, do you want to run into a bear that wants to kill you or a man that wants to kill you? Bears don't want to kill you. Bears kill for survival. That's it. They kill because they feel threatened or they need to eat something. Men kill for fun. Men kill for sport. Men kill because you said something that upset them or made them feel insecure. And then he thinks he has like a gotcha moment where he asks if you know what bears can do to you. Have you met a man ever? Bears aren't going to torture me psychologically and physically. Bears aren't going to lock me up somewhere in a room and keep me as a prisoner. Bears don't want to strip you of your dignity and your humanity. They just want to eat or survive. If I see a bear in the woods, 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna walk away and be fine. If I see a man in the woods, it's 50-50. And that's being generous.
A woman on this app said, the bear lives in the woods. A man followed you there. And that's why she would pick the bear. And that's where you guys aren't understanding. The worst thing a bear can do to a woman is kill them. And the only reason why they're unaliving them is because the bear sees the woman as a threat. The bear isn't trying to hurt the woman because the bear wants the woman's body, wants the woman's labor, wants the woman to perform some type of service for the bear. The bear is trying to stay alive. The bear is doing things out of survival. The man, on the other hand, thinks he is entitled to that woman. He is going out of his way to make sure that woman is uncomfortable because that woman did not give him something he feels like he is entitled to. It's not out of survival. It's not out of desperation to stay alive. It's so that he can get what he wants from that woman that he feels that he's not getting. That's why it's always going to be the bear. Because the bear ain't out to get me. The bear is out to protect itself. The man is out to get me.
That man set out to completely humiliate Pearl. And that should be a lesson to every pick-me. If that's the treatment that a pick-me is getting in public, in front of the world, what do you think is happening to them behind closed doors even when they do get picked? He did not have to answer the videos asking why Pearl hadn't been picked. He did not have to call her masculine and go off on her. But he did, because even though she agrees with literally everything he says, he hates her. Women are told that if you just give up your power and become a pick-me, you're going to get something even more valuable in return. But that man has shown us exactly what you get in return.
Would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? Most of the women said a bear.
You know, I haven't done this in a while, but let's chat. First things first, I will concede that you are probably right. If the question were asked, would you rather be stuck with a bear that wants to you versus a man that wants to you, people would probably change their answer. Reason being, you have a fighting chance against another human than you would a bear. But with the question as is, of course people are going to choose the bear over the man. Understand something. Bears don't give a fuck about people. Bears will not approach you unprovoked. Bears will not attack you unprovoked. Bears won't even look in your direction unprovoked. Meaning that all the tactics that women typically use to avoid male attention and perception will probably work on a bear. Meanwhile, when it comes to a man, unprovoked, a human man has the potential to be infinitely more dangerous than any bear.